welcome back to another video, and my name is Sherry of shycraftygirl.blogspot.com, and welcome if you're new to my channel, if you found it from the hashtag Love Summer Art event that's going on YouTube with the art community from July 17th to the 20th, and it was started by someone in the Facebook group called YouTube channel Art and Crafts for Content Creators, and I did a postcard for my project today. And a long time ago, I cut down a bunch of long sheets of white cardstock down to postcard size and ATC size. And I took one of the postcards and I created a scene. For this, the bottom, I used this old Stamp Affair stamp, which I believe they're no longer around. And this could be used for grass or sand or snow. I used it for sand. And to use sand, I first stamped it in tea dye, distressed ink pad, and then I blended it with the antique linen. And to do that, I used these foam things. I think you can get these at Michael's in the kids section. I think they're from Creativology. I won them a couple years ago. I won a whole bunch of them that I used for my distress inks for each color. So that's what I used for that. And then for the sky, using the different one for the colors, I used Salty Ocean and Tumble Glass, and you probably can't see the Tumble Glass from the buildings, but anyway. So I did that, and then I spritzed some water on my fingers and, created the droplets, and then I used a scrap paper to get the water off because I didn't have any paper towels or whatever near me. So I did that, and then I stamped the buildings with this old Museum of Modern Rubber stamp, and this company is no longer around as well, but I believe the stamp company still sells the images, and I have to do research, and because I'm probably confusing it with Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers. But when I find it, I'll post the link in the description below, or I'll put it somewhere in the video. So I stamped that, and the stamp, even when mounted, because I unmounted all my stamps, has always been a pain in the butt to stamp. I can never get a good clean image when stamping this, so I hardly ever use it because I get frustrated. But after 4 or 5 tries, I managed to get a good clean image of this for the project. And what I did was I inked it up with black VersaFine ink pad, laid it down on the paper, patted it, and then carefully turned it over, and then with my hand I rubbed my hand on the stamp to make sure I got a good image, and voila. Then I colored those with Derwent colored pencils. Yeah, Derwent Studios. These are them. I got these on clearance at Michael's a few years ago. And you may notice there's some shiny parts here. I use glossy accents on the donut, the hand, the wood part of the stamp, and the hanger. And I use foam tape that I got from Stamp-A-Buck when they were still around. And then I stamped her. She's from Viva Las Vegas Stamps. She's a Mary Vago-Losnick image. Stamped her on white cardstock, colored her with Prismacolor pencils, and blended it with a Q-tip with baby oil. And I popped out of her, or foam taped her. I did a couple layers of foam tape so she can stand out a little more. And then finally, I used punches. I used the sun and the palm tree. The sun is an old it's an old EK Success. And this was back when they had the paper doll punches in the hair and the body and the clothes and the accessories. And I bought a lot of them, and I sold a lot, almost all of them except for the sun. And for the palm tree, I used this Marvy one, and I punched 4 of them, and I glued 3 of them together. And then for the 4th one, I used the embossing powder for the sun and the tree, I use this Paper Studio. It's a Hobby Lobby brand. And I ran that through my Big Shot. And then for the sun, I used a makeup sponge and used this Vivid Premium Dye ink pad from Yellow. And I had this like for 20 plus years. Has not dried up. I don't have the right inker for it. It's like brand spanking new. You know, with the ink, it's still wet. And then for the palm tree, I used, for the tree part, I used the Shabby Shutters Distress ink pad, and then I used the Vintage Photo for the trunk, and then I glued it to the rest of them. And with a paintbrush or water brush, I took the colors and tried to take out the white that was shown on the tree, and then I redid the colors on top. And again, I used foam tape for both of them to attach to the card. So that's it. Be sure to go to the search and search hashtag Love Summer Art for other artists who do YouTube videos to see what they're doing, and see you next time. Thanks.